This is me and Frank. I'm doing the percussion. He's doing the rest. Hey, welcome back to Conversations with Ed. Call your friends. You know what you have to do. You have to let them know to get a pen and a pad because there's a lot of stuff you have to write down when you're looking at me. It's great to be back. I have 6 weeks going, and we're going to rock them out this 6 weeks. You see, we started out with some new theme song. I said we're going to do everything new and different. Just let you know that's me on those congas that you just heard. Okay, it's been a really, really good time going on since I saw you the last time. In fact, we got a real special show for you tonight, okay? And I tell you that every time I come on, it is a real special show. But tonight, because of the subject matter, it's very special, and we're gonna get to that in a minute. First of all, you know I have to do my big ups, all right? Out at McGuire VA Hospital, big news. Had a chance to do film a special out at the hospital this past Monday. You're going to be seeing it on this channel probably in about a month once we finish doing all the editing and everything. If you have friends that are veterans, if you're a veteran, your wife, anybody else, they might want to take a look at that show. It'll run a couple of times on this network, and we might even be able to take it over and put it on broadcast, but we'll see how that works out. Also, my wife's book, Welcome Home Veteran, has turned out to be one of the most successful pieces that she's put out. Now, you know, every week when I come on, I talk about how those of you who are not going out to the center and being serviced, all of you veterans out there, male, female, you're not taking advantage of what is offered. You're gonna find out all about it in this new book that she wrote. It's taken off. I mean, it's outstanding. My friends have read it and it's like, Charlene, you wrote this? She did a really, really good job. So keep your eyes open, be tuned for that if you wanna go online in order to be able to do that also within the next week. Okay, so we did that. Now, I'm gonna kind of jump. We don't have the phone lines to put on the screen. So if you wanna get that pen I was telling you about, write down 915-5202, 915-5202. Call your friends, give them that number because I know some of you are gonna have some questions. These two young ladies are gonna tell you some pretty interesting things. You might wanna have a pen and pad ready as usual to write that down. Okay, Peggy, Dorothy, Sarah, Nurse Diane, Nurse Linda, all of you, thanks so much for what you do for us, okay? That being said and done, I want to introduce you to our guests. The phone number, once again, 915-5202. Don't hesitate to call. As soon as you hear something that you want to ask about, or if you have a question that just comes into your mind. This month is Breast Cancer Aware Month. This month is Breast Cancer Aware Month. Most of you who are looking at me right now either have or know someone who is in this situation. It's so widespread now, it's almost epidemic. My daughter-in-law, my brand new daughter-in-law is going through it. We've had very, very close friends in the last 3 months, probably about 4 different of our friends have come up with it. And unbeknownst to most of you folks, because you see me and Charlene laughing and joking and having such a great time all the time, I was married before for 32 years and my first wife died of cancer. So it's something that's near and dear to my heart. So I want to introduce you to these ladies. They're going to tell you about their organization. It's called the Sisters Network for Central Virginia. Okay. This young lady sitting next to me right now is the president. You are. And this is Barbara Brown, who's been my friend since I came to Virginia. In fact, one of the first people I met down here but a very accomplished woman. Barbara, I'm going to brag about you for a minute,
you.
okay? Because she has done some remarkable things in education, and on this particular subject, she was the honorary president
honorary chair of the recent Gift for Life Block Walk sponsored by Sisters Network, Central Virginia.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I know you put a lot of energy into it. You raised a lot of money for it. Yeah. Well, it's something to brag about and something to be proud about. Now, Brenda.
Brenda.
What's your last name? I'm sorry.
Archer.
Brenda Archer. Okay, Brenda Archer, as I said, is the president. I'm going to get her to start out and start telling us about the organization, what your organization does, what this month is all about, what you have coming up for this month, and let's get the word out.
Sure.
Okay?
We are Sisters Network, Central Virginia. We are an African-American breast cancer survivorship organization founded in 1994 by Karen E. Jackson from Houston, Texas. The Central Virginia chapter was formed in 2005. We are 501c3. We saw the need for a second organization in the Richmond area, so we branched away from the original Richmond chapter to become the Central Virginia chapter.
So that was bigger?
Well, not necessarily bigger, but we needed to go further.
Oh, okay.
The mission is to create local and national attention to the devastating impact that breast cancer has on the African American community. It's not just local in the Richmond area. It spreads out through all of the counties of Farmville, Charles City, Charlottesville. So the Central Virginia chapter goes to some of the outlying areas as well as stay in the Central Virginia area to create this awareness. We create awareness through things like our Pink Ribbon, which is a faith-based organization. We worship together every fourth Sunday, in addition to doing health fairs held at church, community forums at church, anything that's related to the faith base, we go there. When we go on the fourth Sundays of every month, we set up a table. The minister gives us 5 or 10 minutes to speak, and we have a table set up in wherever they say, and the members are invited back to that table to get information and to also speak to a survivor. Now, there's nothing like talking to a survivor.
Absolutely. I can testify to that. And knowing this 25-year survivor over here.
Right.
And how many years for you?
15 years.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Outstanding. Now, you said at churches, can churches call you and ask you to come in to do this?
Yes, they can.
And how would they contact you?
They can call us at our office. Our number is 804-447-4027, 804-447-4027, or they can reach us on our website, which is our email, is centralvirginia@sistersnetworkinc.org.
Got that? I told you need a pen when you watch this show. Okay. Now, for this month, what have you set up for this month to get the word out a little bit louder?
I'll start talking about
Go ahead, Barbara. Let us know.
One of the activities for Sisters Network is the Gift for Life Block Walk.
Okay.
And it truly is a gift for life. What happens is that just for this past week, there were like 200 or more.
We had about 250 volunteers.
And what they do, they go from house to house. And this year in the Randolph area, it was like they visited like 1,000 different homes. And they take with them a packet of information about breast cancer. And it encourages women to have mammograms. And it appears that at every walk, this was the 9th walk, that every walk you always will find someone who really needed to hear that you need to go and have that mammogram, right,
Exactly,
Brenda?
exactly.
Well, let me ask you a question about that, because you're seeing, you look at CNN, Dr. Gupta. What is his name, Dr.?
Yeah, the doctor.
The
doctor. He's a medical specialist.
He's sharp, right? And when there's something new comes up in medicine, he comes out with it. There was some controversy about the overuse of the mammograms, and also some good news about some new treatments that are coming out now, laser treatment, et cetera. Am I?
Well, I'm not really much into the medical end of it.
And we're not either, except that we do know that a mammogram is the best defense for right now against breast cancer. smallest particles can be detected through a mammogram. It does not replace, however, a monthly self-exam, which is critical to anyone, any woman, because you get a mammogram once a year. If you do that self-breast exam on a monthly basis, then you might find something that wasn't there. That's how I found mine.
And that's exactly how I found mine. Brenda, I had a mammogram, I think, in November, and I found, by self-exam, I found something, and had another mammogram like in February, I think it was.
Okay.
And then by the time everything came back, then it was diagnosed as breast cancer. So the self-exam is very, very important.
Had you
very
not
important.
had that self-exam, like with me, if I had waited another year, what would have happened?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You know,
yeah.
so the self-breast exam, I tell women all the time, please know your body. Know what your breasts feel like so that you'll know if something's different. And they don't always know how to do it. So at our outreaches, we show women through a prosthesis form how to do a self-breast exam. I think that is just critical. And it's always so enlightening to me to see a woman's face light up when she really knows, I did it the right way. I felt something. Now I know what to look for.
And is this on the rise? It seems like, or is that my imagination?
What-
it just
what-
seems
what?
like breast
Cancer?
cancer. So
Well,
you seem like you're hearing so much more.
Well, when you talk about African American women, it was estimated that approximately maybe 28,000 women, African American women, would be diagnosed just this year, and about 6,000 of them probably would die from breast cancer. However, I believe there's been a decline between 1975 and 1990s. There was a decline in the number of African American women who were dying from breast cancer. And I really think that Sisters Network has played a big role in that decline because the emphasis is on early detection. And because they're out in the community and more women are familiar with early detection, I think it has been a big help in the decrease, particularly with the deaths of African American women.
What do you think? How would I ask this question? What is the cause? I mean,
There
There's
is no
a lot
known
of
No
variables.
logical-
A lot of variables.
There are a lot of things that can play into the diagnosis of breast cancer, but there's no cause that we know of specifically. They say obesity, but
I
you
know
know,
some thin
they
people.
say right.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
thin when I was diagnosed. They say if you don't exercise, well, I exercised then, and so there are a lot of things that play into it. Early menses is one of the things that they say can be a aid in the diagnosis. Early childbirth. There's so
Not
many
breastfeeding.
things. Personally, I think it might be environmental. I don't know. It's so many of us getting it. Who knows
Yeah.
just
It's in the
what
air.
it is? It's something that,
very possible.
and
So, yeah.
I think we all have cancer in our genes.
You would
So is it something that triggers
Triggers
just the breast cancer? I don't know. I wish we did know what caused it, because then we could stop it.
Well, now, cancer treatment itself, breast cancer treatment in particular, the treatment has advanced.
Oh,
yes,
definitely.
Quite a
So
bit,
it
where it's
really
not-
has in the last, I know,
Yes.
since I was diagnosed, which was 25 years ago. It's a lot of
Because
advancement.
you almost, I think back in those days, it was almost like a death sentence.
Exactly.
Because
Yes,
it would
for
spread.
some people.
It would go through the rest of your body.
It
Yes.
still goes through the rest of your body, but I think the treatment is so
Treatment.
much better, because I do remember when I was going through chemo, I literally crawled from the bed to the bathroom. Literally crawled.
Energy-
I could
energy
not do
zapped
anything. I was sick. I
From
was
the
a sick-
chemo,
I
yeah.
was a sick puppy. And all I could do was crawl from one spot to the other. And I thought, Lord, have mercy if I get through this. If anything happened again, I'll never do chemo again. I will never do it again. It's just not worth it at the time. That's 15 years ago. It's a lot better now. I'm going, Lord, if it give me 15 more years, I'm good. But yes, the treatment is different.
let me just share though, Ed. Though I had chemo about 25 years ago, but I also chose to participate in a clinical trial at the Massey Cancer Center.
Oh, that's what you went through.
Yes, at
Massey.
the Massey
Okay.
Cancer Center. And however, I never recall ever being sick from the chemo.
That's the difference.
I had the radiation. I didn't lose my hair, and perhaps it was part of my being a part of the clinical trial, and that's why it's always try to encourage women to participate in clinical trials. And we as African Americans, we are reluctant to do that, but sometimes it pays off. And I'm sure that my participation in the clinical trial has in some way helped some other women as they go through that.
Hello, caller. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
I have an auntie in Cleveland, and she's been diagnosed in the 4th stage of lung cancer. Could you explain it to me?
What do you mean? Explain what does the
what
fourth stage?
stage is that? That's some people would just take some of my relatives were just saying that she's taking chemo.
Well, the fourth, if they say, and I hate to say it to you like this.
Well, I got an idea.
Okay, the fourth stage. As I said, my first wife died of lung cancer, and the fourth stage means that it's about done.
It's terminal.
It's terminal. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm sorry to hear about your aunt, but this is life. This is what we deal with.
All right.
All right. Thanks for calling. Answer that. People don't usually want to hear that, and
Sure.
That's true, but it is the reality.
it is the
of it.
reality. Yeah, it's the reality.
That's true.
I have one of my best friends right now wound up with brain cancer,
I see.
and he's a vegetable. And his wife called me the other night, and she's French. She said, "Eddie, Arthur, he had a massive stroke now, and he's in the hospital now. You're already laying up, not able to do anything, really. And then on top of it, you have a stroke and then get pneumonia."
Wow.
I mean, sometimes you wonder if God's playing some tricks on us.
Sure.
Sometimes, but there's a balance. There is a balance that comes out.
I want to reflect a minute on just this past weekend, because you needed to have been there to really see how involved the community is with getting the word out about breast cancer. I think there were about 200 or more persons in the room, and it was just a sea of pink because we all had the T-shirt. The Gift for Life Block Walk T-shirt, and with a lot of sponsors, community sponsors too, that we are very appreciative of. And so we'd like to invite you to perhaps come next year to the 10th Gift for Life Block Walk.
Yes.
It'll be our 10th anniversary, and I was the honorary chair this year, and having been a 25-year survivor, and it was a wonderful activity. And the thing about it, though, is that when they asked the survivors to stand on Saturday, the volunteers outnumbered the survivors, which means that there's survivors with a lot of support,
Yes.
family and friends.
Isn't that great,
Yeah.
though?
That is great.
That is great. Okay.
It really
And again, all of us go through different things. I said my wife, my dad, and my mom both had passed from cancer.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and my father had everyone you could think of, but he worked I think I told you Sanford is.
Oh, yes, working the junkyard.
But he used to pull boilers
I
out
see.
when people changed from oil to gas. So he used to pull the boilers out, so you're inhaling all the asbestos and all of that stuff, and he wound up with lung cancer. And it's just a terrible disease, but there is a brightness. I mean, you're starting to hear so much good stuff about the treatment. In fact, somebody, was it last week, said they found a cure for a certain type of cancer.
Could possibly be done so, sure.
Yeah.
One other thing about Sisters Network that I'm impressed with is the fact that this year, for the first time, they had a 10-city, one-day conference.
Yes, we do.
Yes, so Brenda might want to talk a little more about that.
Every year, our national office has they have a conference every year in Houston, Texas, or sometimes it goes to other cities, but basically in Houston, Texas. So this year they decided not to have the big national conference, but to go to 10 different cities and have a conference. Well, the Central Virginia chapter was selected. And I say we were selected because chapters had to say they wanted to do this. We were selected to do this. So we did host the conference on June the 29th at the St. James Church down in Varina. We had speakers, Dr. Mary Helen Hackney, who spoke on advanced breast cancer, and Dr. William Irving spoke on triple negative. Triple negative is very important to African American women. We typically are diagnosed with triple negative more so than our counterparts.
Oh, hold on. What's triple negative? That's what I want to know.
Triple negative is when you're from the biopsy or the lab, estrogen negative, progesterone negative, and HER2 negative.
So it's getting so
So that's-
Three negatives.
So that means
it's
that
triple.
Triple negative, typically from triple negative, all they can do is maybe the chemo and the radiation. You're not eligible for tamoxifen, which is a drug that some women can take for 5 years or so after to lessen their reoccurrence. Triple negative women are not typically eligible for that. It won't help that situation. When I was diagnosed, they didn't know about triple negative. When you were diagnosed,
They
they
definitely
didn't know
didn't
anything
heard of
about
it.
triple negative. And I tried to go back to give my report to see if the doctor would tell me that I was triple negative, and he said, I wouldn't worry about it at this point. You're doing just fine. But it is when those three things are negative.
So that was. How do you find that, through a blood test? Or
It's through the biopsy when they take the tumor.
Oh yeah. And,
They
yeah.
do, the pathology report will tell them all of that.
Now the triple negative means that you might be able to get a reoccurrence. Is that the idea?
Well, in
or is
any
it-
cancer, you can get a
Yeah.
reoccurrence.
Okay.
Even after 25 years, I
Yeah,
could
you can get a reoccurrence. Doesn't necessarily mean it's coming back in the same spot, but can come back. As you know, there's no cure. So we really just are fighting to just stay alive. But with triple negative, you don't have the option to take a tamoxifen pill that can maybe prolong you another 5 years, lessens the reoccurrence maybe.
Now, I see you have a sheet down here. And do you want to tell us some of the things on the sheet? Because I'm trying to read it in your lap.
You are.
But you know,
had to read
one of
off
the
that
things-
sheet.
one of the things you just shared with me was that
I think I told you.
the day of prayer, day of worship.
Our
yes,
National Day of Worship. Our national office, a couple of years ago, developed a National Day of Worship. That's where 40 chapters across the United States worship at a church in their facility. So all of Sisters Network chapters will be worshiping together on October the 27th. We, the Central Virginia chapter, will be at Mount Olive Baptist Church on Bells Road, 2611 Bells Road. That's Mount Olive Baptist Church, 2611 Bells Road at 11 o'clock.
On, what's the date again?
October the 27th.
Do you see what I mean? You need a pen. Now write it down. We're going to say it one more time. October the 27th at St. Olive.
Mount Olive Baptist Church,
Church.
2611 Bells Road, 11 o'clock service. We invite everybody to come out and worship with us.
That's very nice. Okay, so you're going to have to say that date one more time before we leave. We'll come back to that. Once again, the phone number, 915-5202. Apologize for not being able to put it up on the screen, but don't hold back, just like the young man just called again and asked a question that I know was hard for him to ask and actually harder for me to answer. But call, ask your questions, let us know what you're thinking about. You have an event coming up here. And
I have
I'm looking
another
at
event.
this
Can
one,
I
right?
tell you?
This,
Can I tell you about
before-
another one first?
Go get them. Let's see.
This is a very busy chapter, women.
That-
We
that-
are
that's
busy.
good,
We are
yeah.
a busy chapter.
Uh-huh.
This Friday, we have a sister house. And the way that we came about the sister house is our national office selected us out of 40 chapters to win the Trailblazer Award. This award granted us.
Hold that thought 1 minute.
Okay.
Hello, caller.
Hi, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
I would address this to Barbara Brown or her friend. What do you need most in Sisters Network? What can the community do the most? I mean, some of us don't want to walk. What can we do physically to help?
We always have a need for a volunteer, not necessarily to always walk with us. That's a once a year type thing that we do. We definitely need volunteers for that. But we can use volunteers for other things and financial support, quite honestly. Because we are always putting materials out into the public, and those materials have to be replenished. We have a sister house that really we need, we could use financial support with that. We did receive a 1-year grant, which is up, it was up in August from a pharmaceutical company. So we'd like to keep that house open to offer women that are going through breast cancer a sanctuary where they can come and find resources, and also they can speak with a survivor. It is staffed Monday through Fridays, 10 to 2 with a volunteer and a survivor. So when a woman comes in, and we have had many, a survivor can talk to them. We have this room called a, and it went right out of my
meditation
head.
room.
Your meditation, like a meditation room.
It is like a meditation room, serenity room.
Right,
Serenity.
okay.
Oh, wow.
That I dearly love that room. When you walk in that room, it's nothing but peace. It's just peace to your spirit. And when a woman is going through it, that could be a nice place for them to come.
Sure.
In addition, we have a library that offers all the resources that we could offer a woman. So there's plenty to do for us that doesn't necessarily have to be walking.
That answer your question, caller?
Yes, it does. And do they have a website? If you did, I missed it.
Yes, www.centralvirginia at sistersnetworkinc.org.
I think
Could you say that
I
again?
gave you
email
with
address.
She's going to do it again,
Wait a
caller.
minute.
Hold on 1 minute, okay?
So I might have given you the wrong address.
Okay.
I just Googled
W,
it.
it's
Well,
it
there
is
was a
it's
phone number then. How about a phone number?
I can give you the website too.
Oh, okay.
www.sistersnetworkcentralva.org.
Sister Network, centralva.org.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
ma'am.
All right, now last question. How does Sisters Network differ from the larger network, which
The
whose
national-
name has
The
slipped
national.
me right now? The Massey Network, Massey Breast Cancer Network, I believe.
No,
No.
there's no relation.
No relations. We're the only African American breast cancer survivorship organization in the United States. There are 40 chapters nationwide.
40 chapters.
40 chapters nationwide, but we're the only African American breast cancer organization. And it is survivor run.
So
This is phenomenal. Have you sent articles to Essence Magazine?
Our national office has. That would be
Okay.
something that would come through the national office, because that's an affiliate chapter. I can't step on their toes, probably. So sort of like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
all right, caller, good information?
Okay, bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
right. Yeah, now, you were, before the call came.
Oh, you were talking about the house, the sister house.
Yeah, sister house,
Because you'll
yeah.
need a printer. I understand you need a
We
new
do
printer.
need a printer bag.
Well, listen,
Yeah, you do need a printer. I
We
heard
do
you
need a
need
new
a new
printer.
printer.
Okay.
Our printer went out just before the Gift of Life block
let's ask for
walk.
one. I know somebody out there that's looking at this show has a printer. They need a printer. How can they get in touch? Same phone number?
Same.
Same phone number, 804-447-4027.
All right, if you want to donate a printer, a working printer, with some supplies, I know some of these offices are upgrading some of their equipment. They don't mind if it's a little bit used as long as it works.
That's
Makes
right.
sense? In fact, I might even have one.
Oh, good.
But we'll
very
check.
much.
When I go home, we'll check and see, okay?
But we
What's-
did receive a grant from a pharmaceutical company for a year's worth of grant to open a sister house. We had our grand opening last October the 12th. We are now located at 105 East Clay Street in Jackson Ward.
Brand new.
Brand new. It is a beautiful facility. I welcome everybody to come by and visit us.
It is very nice.
It is
facility.
beautiful.
And then someone can come there and they can get the information, get
Sure they
counseling,
can.
Sure.
and get a chance to visit that cool out room.
That
Serenity.
by
It's called
Serenity
Serenity.
room.
Yeah, no,
Serenity
this
room.
is
Yes,
good
they
stuff.
can, and it's manned Monday through Friday, 10 to 2,
Uh-huh.
or by appointments.
Nice.
So if you want to come down and it's after hours, just give us a call and someone will meet you there.
Now, on your website, can people do donations through your website?
Yes, you can.
All right. You hear that? Okay, you want to help out as with most organizations that are trying to do something positive in our Richmond community, we need funding. A nonprofit organization, that means that your donations are tax deductible. So you want to take a little something off your income tax, send it to a good cause. Make sense?
It does.
Okay. You want to add something else, Barbara? Because I know you had a couple other things you wanted to talk about.
Well,
Upcoming events.
yes, well, we have, next year, for example, will be the 10th walk, the Gift for Life Block Walk. And hopefully we will have, we have not selected where we're going next year.
How long is the walk?
Oh, it depends. See, actually, you're going from door to door.
Door to door.
And you know, I'm really amazed at how the members of Sisters Network are able to outline the walk area. They have it, all the details out. If you're going to be a walker, you don't have to worry about anything. They'll tell you which house you're going to visit, what side of the street, what to look for, everything. It's very well outlined for the walk. So we encourage people to come out to be a part of it next year if you've not done it before.
What date? Do you have the date already for next year?
It's always the last Saturday in September.
The last date, write
Last
it down.
Saturday in September.
Write it down, the last Saturday in September. Now, where do you walk from? Where do you start at?
We have a headquarters. This year, Fifth Baptist Church on West Carey Street was our walk headquarters.
Okay.
So in each area, we have a headquarters. And so we walk from that church to the areas in the community. This year we blocked off, we went from Meadow Street to Harrison
And it was
Street.
successful.
It was successful. We did over 1,000 homes.
Really? How many people are in your organization?
We have
That's a big-
active members, meaning that they attend the meetings and et cetera. We have 22 active members.
And 22 active members covered 1,000 houses?
No. We had 250 volunteers.
Wow.
Our volunteer base is huge.
Wow,
A huge volunteer base. And
1,000
Barbara-
homes.
Yeah,
That's remarkable.
It is.
and like Barbara said, most of them were volunteers and not breast cancer survivors,
Just
which is amazing.
Oh, sure.
right now, as survivors, do you have any suggestions? Maybe would be the word for other people who are just now going through this.
Well, I tell you, I guess I'll start it off by sharing with you a little something that I share with most places when I talk about breast cancer. When I was going through the treatment, I received a card that said, "No one likes to be ill, but yet we all know it takes rain and sunshine to make flowers grow. And sometimes an illness that seems so distressing is a time of renewal and a spiritual blessing."
Outstanding.
Well, actually,
Hold on 1 second for me, caller. Okay.
and so therefore, I've always had a positive attitude
Yes, you do.
toward it.
Okay.
And I can think of numerous things that made me realize that it was a blessing. For example, just being here tonight, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
You know, and I can talk of so many other opportunities I've had only because of breast
We're
cancer.
going to give you a chance to do that. Hello, caller. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, turn your TV down a little bit and you'll be able to hear me a little better. How about that?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, what's your question? And thanks for calling.
My question is, my name is Linda.
Hi, Linda.
I have a sister-in-law that's just beginning to go through breast cancer. She went for her surgery last Friday, and she's like being withdrawn. She don't want any help. She's trying to just jump right back into everything. She doesn't want to have the chemo done. And my question to you is, how do you try to assist people like that, you know, that really is not dealing with the disease. And I myself know the impact of the disease. I mean, I celebrate breast cancer every year. I put tables out in my church and everything, but I can't seem to get her to even consider talking about it or dealing with it with nobody. But she didn't want us to go to the hospital with her last Friday. She didn't want to do anything like that.
Well, we're going to answer that. I can kind of help with that also. You want to listen? And if I don't answer it, call me back. How about that?
I sure will.
All right, Linda, thank you for calling, too.
Okay, all right.
All right. It's, Barbara, you know,
Brenda.
when she says I'm like the miracle man, I've had 18 major operations.
Wow.
Okay, I've been pronounced dead 3 times.
Wow.
Okay, as Barbara said, attitude is 99% of it. But when you have something traumatic, as you ladies have experienced, and you correct me if I'm wrong, there's a mental wall that comes down, and it's called denial.
Oh, sure.
Okay, this can't happen to me. not
Why me?
Why me? And what's going to happen to me? And for young females, particularly when in our American society where breasts are so important, okay, it causes a real mental circumstance.
Sure.
And Linda, for your sister, there is counseling that's available for any woman, any man, because men get breast cancer too. We
Yes,
forgot
they
about
do.
that.
Yes, they do.
But for any persons that are going through traumatic illness, the hospital usually has a counseling situation, and that's what I would suggest. I would suggest that you, number one, speak to them, and number two, contact this agency and let these young ladies who have gone through this talk and explain that it is not the end, it can be the beginning.
That's right.
Okay?
That is so
It's
true.
not the end, it
That's
can be
true.
the beginning.
I would
Now-
encourage, if I may, Linda, if you would have your, or you call our office. We do what's called a sunshine bag for newly diagnosed patients. And in that bag, it gives a Susan Love breast health book. It also gives a journal and a couple of other books that could help her in her diagnosis. Family sometimes is the part that you fear most when you're going through something
And
like this.
People don't
So-
watch every 5 minutes. How you feel?
Yeah,
How you
and they
doing?
do.
You know?
They
And-
do. So, Linda, if you would call our office and give your sister-in-law's name and address, we'll be happy to send her a sunshine bag. Also, on the third Sundays of every month except December, we have a support meeting. Starts at 4:30 at our office at 105 East Clay Street. We welcome her to come there. Sometimes it's just good to be in the midst of somebody that's going through what you're going through. So we encourage her to do that if she would. And if all of that fails, I'll be more than happy to call her personally and talk to her.
How about that? Now, Linda, I know you, and you know that you can talk to me. If you want to call back and ask some more, please do. But I think that kind of gives you a direction to go in with your sister. Just remember, you can't force this on her. You can't force the attention on her because the walls are up now. Okay, and it's up to the pros, the professionals, to work it out. Hope we answered that question for you, and it was a great question, by the way.
It really was.
Okay.
Good question.
Good
All right.
question. Yeah.
What a team.
We did good.
You did great.
She's
Okay.
very good. She
Yeah,
knows.
yeah.
I mean,
Now-
that's why she's the president.
Yeah, obviously, right?
She knows
Okay.
it.
Well, what we want to talk about is this event now you have coming up. Or was that what you? Yeah,
I
upcoming
want to
events.
talk about lighting the sister house first.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's it.
Started that,
That's
and
what we
then
were talking about. Yeah, let's
so
talk about that.
on Friday, this Friday, we're going to light our house in pink. I welcome everyone to come by, see our house in pink.
That's
We're
it.
lighting at 7 o'clock.
105 Clay Street.
105 East Clay Street. It will be lit for the month of October in honor of breast cancer awareness.
Outstanding. Okay, once again, write it down. Go visit the house, go by and see it, and just show your support. Now, I'll come by and show my support.
Thank
too,
you.
'cause
Thank you.
I think this is a great cause. Go ahead. You got something else?
We talked already about the National Day of Worship
Yes.
at Mount Olive, but we also are doing on November the 16th, Dance Towards Secure.
Oh, we're going to boogie for the cause.
Well, you know, we're going to do something.
I like
Tom
that.
want to do Party with a Purpose.
Yeah.
So we're going to dance towards Secure. November the 16th, 7 to 11 at the Crown Plaza, Richmond downtown,
November 16th.
featuring the Cats Band.
My boys, Cats Band, you can't beat them, I tell you. If you want to get your dance on and be out with some real fun people, come on out for this event. How much is it?
Couples, $90. Singles, $50. We will have a raffle on site. And we have some great things to be raffled off also.
Okay.
We have some black art. We have great things to
Now,
be
is this-
raffled off, and all to benefit our cause.
And I know folks are going to want to know, even though they won't ask you, is it an open bar?
It's a cash bar. We're in the hotel, so therefore it is a cash bar.
Okay, well, with the
Bring your
Cats,
money
with the
for the
Cats
cash
band,
bar.
with the Cats band playing, and for this
Cash.
cause, I think that's pretty good setup. Okay,
Thank you.
So that's good. November the 16th.
November the 16th, 7 to 11, and you can get tickets from any member, or you can call the Sister House at 447-4027.
Linda, did you get that number? Write that number down also. Say that number again, 447.
447-4027.
Okay. So that's a fun event. We'll look forward to that, November 16th.
We should have a good time.
Yeah. Now, what do you got? You making money over here? Well, this lady's got a whole thing. I mean, a whole package here that she's.
I do in my life.
I'm looking at her. That's right. Now I'm
tell the
seeing
secret
dollar
yet.
bills and
I can't,
pennies.
I
Don't tell
can't,
it, don't
I
tell
can't
it.
tell the
Don't tell the
secret. You
secret
want me to
yet.
tell you about this?
Yes.
We get great mail.
Okay.
So I got a call a couple of weeks ago that this letter came to the office. And the girl started reading it to me, and the tears just rolled. I am a crybaby. And the tears
all
just
are.
rolled. I said, just don't tell anybody else about it. I'll read it and I'll walk. So I'd like to read this letter.
Open it up.
Dear Sir, this is my donation to the African American Breast Cancer Survivorship Organization of the Sisters Network Incorporated to help save the lives of African American women with breast cancer. Enclosed in that envelope was $2.10. How special is that this young person
Isn't that something?
was so touched by our organization that he gave probably his
His
allowance
last is there.
to help save someone else's
That is really-
life.
Can you show that to the
This
camera?
is absolutely it.
See if you can
touched
get.
my
See
heart.
if you can get a shot of that, guys. Can you get a shot? Turn it over this way.
Oh, yeah.
Can you get a shot?
And you're reading upside down. The
That's
writing
okay.
upside down.
There you go.
That's it. There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
Yeah. You see that? Isn't that something? And this, you can see this is from a child,
From a child.
and that's really special,
Isn't it?
And I'd like to know who
Just-
this child is because this child's got a future. If they're thinking like that now,
I know.
Imagine.
He has a very
I know.
humanistic side to him.
Yeah.
they're
Yes,
gonna be.
yes.
That's really remarkable. All right, now, do you do anything as far as going into the colleges maybe and talking to some of the young girls there and emphasizing, because the college age, I mean, it's coming down to
The
that.
National has a few initiatives, don't they?
One of the initiatives that National started was Tweens in Pink,
Okay.
where they go into getting the younger generation, because African American women are now being diagnosed earlier and earlier. A lady called, or I met her somewhere, and a friend of hers was 20 years old. So, that's way before the mammogram. So we have to rely then on the self-breast exam, knowing your body. Something looks different, say something.
That's
do
why I
something.
went
So,
through my
yeah,
mind.
we do need to get more into the colleges to show young girls how to do self-breast exams, to know how important it is to do that. When we do outreaches, we try to show them that a lot of young people are just not receptive to touching themselves,
Oh,
to be
yeah.
honest. That is not what they want to do. They shy away from it, and I'm like, this is your body. You have to know what you're up against. But National did start the Tweens in Pink.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I have two daughters, and
Two lovely daughters.
Oh, thank you. And I was diagnosed 25 years ago, so therefore, one daughter is 49 and one is 44.
And they're gonna be mad at you.
But that's okay. But I have to make the point of saying that, and each daughter has been receiving her mammogram, I know, for the last 20-some years.
Outstanding.
You see, because I had breast cancer, and so therefore you need to know that if it runs in your family,
Hereditary.
it's hereditary. You're encouraged to start getting your mammograms regularly.
And get them earlier.
Early.
You need to go at least 10 years earlier than when your mother was diagnosed. Because my daughter has been getting mammograms for a
Interesting.
long
That's a real
time.
interesting point.
Oh, yeah.
10
Well, my
years.
girls-
10 years earlier than when your mother was diagnosed.
So if you
My
were
girls were like 20 years earlier, though, only because,
Right.
they've been getting them for about 20 years.
interesting,
And my daughter's been getting about 10 years.
and they're all okay.
Oh, yeah.
See that? Okay. Well, this has been great. I mean, I learned something, and I'm sure some of the folks out there did learn something. And I know you got something else to say.
How did you know that?
I'm looking at you. You got something else.
I don't
Go ahead.
That's why she's here.
I
That's
don't
it.
know
Take
that
advantage
I have
of the opportunity.
a
That's
lot
right.
more to say, but I would like to thank our sponsors. We
Please
we
do,
have
yes.
a great base of sponsorships.
Mm-hmm.
We have Financial Consultants of America, who has been our underwriter for our walk since we started in 2005. So I'd like to thank Kevin and that group for sponsoring us. CareMed Incorporated has been a sponsor for us, great supporters.
Say the name again.
CareMed Incorporated.
Okay.
Not just that he's my son, but he's been a great supporter of
Okay.
us.
CareMed Incorporated. What kind of
It's a
company?
home health care agency.
But big him up.
Okay.
That's
He's a home,
you got
home
an
health
opportunity.
care agency,
Yeah,
and
okay.
he's a great supporter. Mount Olive Baptist Church, Arlington, Virginia. AT&T,
AT&T
great
corporate.
sports sponsors. Bon Secours, always sponsoring us.
They
Virginia
do a
Breast
lot.
Can-
Bon Secure does a good
Virginia
job.
Breast Cancer Foundation, the James River Valley chapter of Links.
I know a little
That's
bit
know a
my-
about
little bit
that.
about
yeah,
that?
A little
Yeah,
bit
that's
about
my
that.
chapter.
They're
I'm
great
a
supporters.
connecting link. I want you to know.
Oh yeah,
right.
it's a connecting link.
Stepping Stones, which is Stepping Stones is a company that women that have gone through breast cancer treatment can go for prostheses and bras and all of those things that are so important to women. And if a woman doesn't have insurance, they have no problem with calling me, seeing if we can help them.
But guess what?
What?
Now they can get insurance.
Oh yeah, Obama. Yeah.
Isn't
they
that
can.
something?
They
Now they
can.
can get
They
insurance.
can.
Say hallelujah
Yeah,
out
they
there,
can.
because before they could not get insurance. It was
Right.
pre-existing condition.
Exactly.
But now they can get insurance, and that is going to be a major lifesaver.
That is.
right there.
That
And the other thing is that if you're over 65, you're on Medicare, you can go to Stepping Stones, and Medicare will pay 80% of your cost for your bras and your prostheses.
Prostheses.
Yes, and a lot of women don't realize that.
Well, that's you just let them know. Let them know
Sure.
again.
And it's
Tell them
important
again.
to women, I think, too, Barbara, because a lot of women don't feel quite whole.
Sure.
That's what I said earlier, because
so-
America is, it's so
We're all
breast
about-
oriented. I mean,
Exactly.
if you don't have breasts in America, you're something like a loser,
So
That's
they don't feel whole, especially when they put on their clothes. They just feel, and they sort of go to the background
That's
of
true.
everything where
That's
they need
true.
to be in the forefront. And showing, I call them war scars.
Battle wounds, yeah.
Yeah, because that's exactly what you've been in a battle for real. But Stepping Stones is a great supporter and a great help to women in the community.
You said the battle when my wife died. I'm a paratrooper, airborne, the whole bit, and we get wings, and they call them blood wings. When they put the wings on, they punch them on.
Okay.
They punch them right into your chest, right?
Ooh.
Blood wings.
Do it have to be that hard?
But
Okay.
she fought so hard that when she died, I told her I was going to put a set of wings. I said, "You've earned your wings," and I put them in her
Wings
casket.
with her.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
it was. You see me getting emotional after all these years. Thank God I have a good wife now, boy, because I'd be terrible. But,
I bet you would.
yeah. So,
But we would like to encourage the community to please make contact with Sisters Network at that number that Brenda has given you, if you don't remember everything that we said, so that there's always information there,
Always.
how you can contact Stepping Stones, or, because you need to know that information.
And I think people should come by to the house just to see it. I mean,
Oh,
this
sure.
this sounds
They
like
should.
it's going to be really exciting.
They should visit it. Most people that come in are just shocked that it's such
It is very nice.
It's a very nice home, and it offers support
That's key.
to the women. And I think that's critically important, because before we were living out of a suitcase out of the back of cars. So now we have a place
Little
where they
storage
can
bin.
come
Yeah.
and they can feel comfortable. Everything that they say is in the strictest of confidence, but they can feel free to open up and say what it is that's really bothering them about this disease.
Linda, are you listening? Okay. Once again, I'm gonna suggest that you have your sister get in contact with these ladies and anybody else that's listening out there that knows anybody that's in that same situation, even if it's yourself. Okay? Just for the information purposes, get in touch with this organization. If you have a couple of extra dollars laying around, make a donation, because guess what? The next person that gets it might be you. Think about that. The next person that gets it could be you, and you're going to need some support and some help. So let's like prepay. Okay.
And since you talk about contribution, I would just like to take this moment to say thank you to all of the persons who gave me financial support in my role as the honorary chairperson. I think we were able to exceed the goal that I set for
Outstanding.
for the walk. Yes.
Outstanding.
And I want to thank all
Well,
of
next
my
year,
contributors.
now is the walk televised or anything like that?
It used to be, but now Stephanie Rochon is our MC, and so we didn't have any cameras there this time. But we did have this, and I need to mention this. We had the UVA digital mammography van there, where
So
we
you were able to do exams,
we
right?
did
Oh,
exams
this is
right
good
there. They
stuff,
had to be pre-registered, but we did 13 mammograms on site the day of our walk.
Well, why don't we see if we can do a promotion for next year's, like a month, so you can have something actually running.
Okay.
Like a month to let people, because I didn't know about it.
Right.
Okay, and you need to get the word out.
Right. Right.
And now you have access. I mean, not just me. I'm sure other people that are watching out there, but I can get the word out pretty good.
Well, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
We
Well,
appreciate
and
that.
and this again, it's near and dear to my heart. I mean, the cause is near and dear to my heart. So, be more than happy. And anybody out there again that's listening that would like to volunteer, don't hold back. I mean, all of us need to be volunteering for something. There's something going on in the United States right now that it's unheard of. And we all need to be realizing that we're all in this together. And it starts, the first step. You have to take the first step. And you'll find out that all of these organizations that have different goals really all have the same goals, to better the community.
True.
This is a major part of the community.
Yes.
For sure.
And this is a big issue. And I mean, I have granddaughters, 4 of them, that are coming up, and it scares me to death to think about it because of what happened with my wife. Okay? But got people like you out here now talking about it. See, 25 years ago, you didn't have anybody like that you could go and talk to.
Oh, no.
Okay? Times changed.
Right. it
Sure,
does.
sure.
And
That's
it
true.
means an awful lot. See, and then by you educating your daughters and knowing your daughters, they're educating
Educating
people,
someone else.
somebody else.
Well,
I don't
that's
know.
true.
I don't know
That's
your
right.
daughters, so I
Right.
can't say.
She is.
Yeah,
But I do
that's
know.
true.
I know her
because
daughters.
my younger daughter has a friend who's like 40, who was diagnosed in Las Vegas, and Sisters Network, Central Virginia chapter, sent her a little sunshine bag, and I think she really appreciated that. So my girls sort of stay on top of it, and they. One of the girls who received her mammogram this Saturday, she's a dear friend of my daughter's.
Oh, okay.
She lives in the
Good.
Randolph area.
Good.
Well, like I said, this in our circle. I mean, in the last 6 months, I don't want to call names, but six.
6?
Wow.
Yeah, 6 people, and I'm talking from young, like
yes,
in the
daughter-in-law.
30s, right, going up into the 60s.
Well, with the statistics of 27,600 women new cases for African American women,
27,000.
Yeah.
27,060 new cases
Just
of
for this
African
year.
American women for this year being diagnosed. Sisters Network Central Virginia can't sit still. There's too much work to do. We need to get to people. People need to know how to examine themselves. They need to know that if you don't have insurance, there's no reason not to get a mammogram. There's help out here. We cannot stop until that number is 0.
At 0. And if you, Obamacare, God bless them, they're fussing and they're fighting. They're not going to get rid of it. So you might as well start taking advantage of it. Hello, caller.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you, fine. Thank you for taking my call.
Okay.
I was wondering if you mentioned about the men who have breast cancer. as
Yes,
well.
I did. As a matter of fact, Quincy Jones, I know Quincy as a kid. I knew Quincy growing up. And
was
he's a
here.
perfect example of,
Well, we do have a local,
listen up, okay? They're going to answer this for you now, okay?
Thank you very much.
And thank you for calling. That's a good question.
there is a local young man that was diagnosed with breast cancer. He participated in a support meeting at our house back in February, I think it was. He is so amazing to me because to be a male and say you have breast cancer, it's like, wow,
Psychological.
So for me, I want to know, well, how did they find it? Did they put you through the mammogram machine? that they do to find this. He is so open and honest, and I think if you call the house, we'll be happy to share that information, but I don't want to share his name
Right.
out. But he is just open. He said God spared him so that he could help other men.
Well, like
And
I
he
said,
is
Quincy,
just very willing to
and
do that.
Quincy-
The guy that played on Shaft. When he
Roundtree, Richard
Richard
Roundtree.
Roundtree, yeah,
he
okay.
came to
And,
Richmond at one time.
and as I said, Quincy Jones, and he didn't mind talking about it. I
Right.
mean, in fact, he's done several shows where he sits down and talks about, yes, as a male, I had it, and he's cured and stuff. But this has been great, and you see how fast the time went by.
It did
Oh,
go by
sure.
fast.
Okay, really
You know,
good.
and I know, like Linda was talking about her sister.
Her sister, yeah.
You know, a lot of women are reluctant about talking about it.
Very much so.
You know, and but I found that talking about it helped me, and the more persons who knew about it, the more people were praying for me.
Well, the prayer circle does work. I
Yes,
mean, I'm
you know,
saying,
and that-
look at me, I'm alive, right?
Yeah,
so we
that's
know
true.
prayer does
Prayer
work,
does
all
work.
right?
That's right.
But again, it's like the book, Coming Home, Welcome Home, Vets. One of the things that Charlene put in the book is to be sure you talk to somebody that wants to listen to you,
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
okay? So you can't just go out and say it. But Barbara, you know you have a personality.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and people genuinely, I mean, she like in everybody's family. So there's going to be a big response to something happening to her. But most women, again, the stigma comes up that they don't understand that there's no need for a stigma. There's no, not anymore. Maybe 25 years ago, people go, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. But now, with having had so many people in families, everybody has been touched by this disease.
Right.
Right? So now it's more open to talk about. And for the caller that just called up to ask about males, men have a tendency to touch their chest. We're not as against, touching, we're talking muscles, and building up the chest and whatnot. So maybe more men need to start really paying attention when they're flexing their muscles and whatnot to be sure. It's not as widespread at all. It's very seldom that you hear it coming about a male. But this number of women, and I'm just so glad that you ladies did come on to talk about it because it needs, again, to be talked about.
Yes, it does.
And let me just say that Brenda is doing a very good job
I could
as
see
the
it.
president
I
of
could see
Sisters
that,
Network
yeah.
Central Virginia.
Thank you.
A very, very good job
I could see that.
with a group of dedicated volunteers. She's doing a very good job.
Well, listen, folks,
so much.
we've had a great conversation. As I told you, there's some really good things coming up. Next week, we're going to have the representatives back on from the VA because we're going to talk about the special that we shot Monday and about all of these folks are doing, all of the things that are available. On November the 15th, there is what we call a stand down. And a stand down in the military means everybody stops whatever they're doing and focuses on the one thing. And the one thing for our stand down here in Richmond is homeless veterans. So on that day, November 15th, any vet that does not have a home is welcome to come to McGuire VA Hospital, get cleaned up, get a haircut, get your shots if you need flu shots or whatever, get a great meal, maybe get a new pair of shoes.
Area code 804-441-5449. That's 2013 Voter Empowerment Rally, March, and Protest on Saturday, October the 26th. Let us work to get the vote out and let's let our voices be heard. We are a part of the community, brothers and sisters, and we play a very vital part in our community. So please come out with us at Muhammad's Mosque number 24 and be a part of our community so that we can improve the lives of our people. We have a lot to share with you under the guidance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And we want for you what we want for ourselves. That's stronger families. We want to be able to do the employment and also to build a world that our babies and our babies' babies can enjoy. Thank you so much, brothers and sisters, for tuning in. God willing, we will be with you next Wednesday at at 9 p.m. to carry you further, to share with you some of that which we are learning as students of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad under the divine leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Thank you for being with us. May Allah continue to bless you, guide you, and protect you as we go through this dark hour. Thank you for listening to us.